What's up everyone, Kaze no What If is here with What If a Soul was sent into One Piece verse. Before we start, if you like the video, like it, share with your friends, comment, and let's start the video. Clearly I don't own One Piece. I don't have the best fanfic either. What a sad life I lead. This chapter is based off the one I wrote on Story of a Wraith. There may be some inconsistencies because I just re-edited that chapter to fit the changes I made on this story. Reading that one though, I was surprised on the difference in skill. Back then I wasn't too good, but I was capable of writing emotion pretty well. Nowadays I can't write emotion at all. I hope you enjoy the story. Also, a friend of mine began writing. Go read The Beast of the Ocean, he's better with emotions and shit. Responding to comments. Guest, damn, I actually got another comment, that's always nice to see. Thanks for the constructive criticism, I responded using comments since it seemed necessary. You were on chapter 2 after all. Also, due to the lack of a name, apologies for not saying much. Montikonomavi, based on what you said, I'd be really surprised if you made it this far. However, if you do, please explain the mistakes I made so I could at least use it to improve my writing. Ayo, y'all think I can get away with saying the word that my race implies? Like, I feel like the site might start tripping if I get to saying that shit. At the moment I was very tired, emotionally, obviously because of my fruit I'm incapable of being physically tired due to the wraith, however sleep is still comforting. You can imagine my annoyance when I wake up to a storm and screaming coming from outside. In order to become the king of the pirates, Luffy shouted. In order to become the world's greatest swordsman, Zoro followed. In order to make a map of the world, Nami says. In order to become a brave warrior, Usopp vows. In order to live out Usopp's lies, Kaya smiled. In order to find the all blue, Sanji yelled. In order to step out the shadow of my lineage, Kiers smirked. Even Kara decided to join in. In order to find my friends, I burst the door open. In order to shut the hell up when others are trying to sleep, Luffy laughed. Come on Jay, you have to join in. Captain's orders. I sighed. In order to surpass the gods, the shadowy figure of Mary stepped in, though only Kara and I could see her. In order to help everyone on their journey, Luffy smashed the barrel as we all shouted, except me, I don't like to yell much. In order to become the greatest pirates we can be, we set sail. Kara came over and slapped my back. Why are you always so grumpy? You almost ruined the moment. Well, I was trying to sleep, why do you guys have to be so loud? I am a head back in, wake me up if something interesting happens. Should I wake you up when dinner is ready? She asked. Nah, I don't need to eat anyways, I replied before walking into one of the spare rooms. The next day. Nami, aren't we in the Grand Line yet? Yelled Luffy from on top of Mary's figurehead. I looked over at him with a flat expression on my face. We just left Logtown 2 days ago, idiot. Luffy frowned. Hey, how was I supposed to know it's only been 2 days? I sighed. Do you understand the passage of night and day? It's starting to seem like you don't. Nami glanced at me with a hint of mischief in her eyes. It seems like you're the one that doesn't understand the passage of night and day, you're always sleeping through the afternoon. Well duh, I'm the Hell Wraith, of course I'd like night more, besides the peace I get during the night is wonderful. I explained. Kara walked up to me with her partial transformation activated. Jay, you got a problem with me or something? I began to panic. Huh? How'd you get that from what I just said? You said you hate daytime, that translates to hating light, which translates to having a problem with me. Come on Kara, that's a big jump even for you. I shifted back towards the railing. You alright? Something wrong? The sun was beaming down, it was noon. Huh, never better. I just feel like we should fight a bit, just a quick spar so we can be clear that you don't have a problem. Kara said sweetly. I immediately turned the idea down. You know, we both know you have a significant advantage in the day. Besides it's noon, fighting you now gives me zero benefits. Zoro got up with a grin on his face. If you need a battle, I'm always willing to face a worthy opponent. Kara glared at him. Keep quiet, marine lover. Zoro was confused. Huh, what are you talking about? I caught your little kiss in my wraith world, idiot. Kara said loud enough for the others to hear. Kiers walked up. Kiss, what's that supposed to mean? Zoro sat back down. Sorry Jay, you're on your own. Not for long. I smirked. Zoro kissed that Tashigi girl during their last duel. While we were all escaping, he was having some fun. Zoro stood up. That's playing dirty. I could use an ally. I laughed. A red aura fell from Kiers. Is that so? You forced a kiss on the girl? Sanji stepped forward, his eyes ablaze. He did what? Oh please Sanji, we both know you're jealous. I began to laugh until suddenly me and Zoro were on the ground covered in bruises. I blame you for this, Jay. Zoro grumbled. Yeah, I kinda deserved that one, don't worry, we'll get back at them eventually. I promised. Zoro smirked. I like the sound of that. As we went back towards the main deck, Luffy was talking about a big fish. Zoro, you might want to dodge, you're about to get hit by a little girl flying at high speeds. I warned him. Zoro paused for a second. Huh. At that moment a little girl came crashing into Zoro via Gum Gum Express, knocking him off the ship into the water. He really can't catch a break today. You alright? I called out to him. Hey guys, what happened to Zoro? Luffy asked innocently. Zoro climbed back onto the ship, soaked with water. Oh, I am so going to get back at all of them. He tried to walk to one of the rooms but instead fell to the deck unconscious. Anyways, where's the fish? Luffy asked. It's not a fish, it's a little girl. I told him. She's unconscious, we'll have to wait till she wakes up to learn anything. You got any idea of what's going on, Jay? Kara asked me, knowing of the world I came from. Well yeah, but it could be different than I remember. I reminded her. I guess, what should we do with the girl? Jay, take her inside the room please. Nami ordered. Yeah no, sorry but I don't feel like going through all that trouble. Sanji, pick her up and take her inside. Make sure she's comfortable. I instructed. Huh, why should I have to do it? Sanji asked, clearly not wanting to take orders from me at the moment. Nami looked over at Sanji with a sickeningly sweet smile. Sanji, could you please take her inside? Anything for you, Nami Swayan. Sanji exclaimed before spinning off, hearts coming out of the mini tornado he created. Such a sad case, I understand wanting to help a beautiful woman but geez, I'd never go that far. I said nonchalantly. Nami looked over at me with a grin. Beautiful huh, I always knew it but hearing it from you makes it seem more credible, I get the feeling you don't give compliments easily. Yeah. I replied before walking away. 2 hours later. Apis was beginning to stir. I quietly walked up behind Usopp and pulled him back slightly so that he didn't hit his head when Apis inevitably jumped up. Whoa, thanks for the save, Jay. It's almost like you knew what was going to happen. He fell to the floor sweating from the near miss. Yeah, almost like I knew it was going to happen. Don't tell the others about this, I got a reputation to uphold. I told him flatly. Are I right, though there's something I'm confused about. It almost seems like you like being called a jackass by the rest of the crew. Usopp commented. You're right, I'm not some kind of psychomasochist. I laughed. Usopp stared at me in disbelief. Oh come on, you didn't really think I was into that, did you? Usopp laughed nervously. Well kinda, it seems like you like inflicting pain on others like a psycho sadist. I thought maybe secretly you were trying to hide your interest. Great. I complained. This is not the reputation I want to uphold. So who are you guys? Apis asked. Nami then went on to explain who we all were scaring Apis, though the others didn't seem to notice immediately, me and Kuragari did. Later on that night we heard Apis talking to herself. Why? 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 Why in the hell? I went through all that trouble and did scary things to escape from the Marines. Of all things, why did I get picked up by a pirate ship? I'm aware that in the anime she only thought these things, but she'll say them out loud here for story purposes. Hey Kara, shouldn't you do something about that? I yawned. I may head back to sleep. I don't have time to deal with that, I'm too tired to get up. Kara replied. Seriously, how did I get caught up with a bunch of pirates? Apis shouted. Kara begrudgingly got out of bed. Come on Jay, we can't just leave her there. Oh come on. She'll get over it in the morning. I sighed. Just let me rest, it's late at night. I don't have time for this. Jay, you have 5 seconds. Kara ordered. You're not actually tired. You have more energy due to it being night, you just don't want to deal with this situation. Fine. I hopped out of bed and put on a shirt, I tend to sleep without one. Come on, let's get this over with quickly so I can enjoy the peace. I swear I don't understand how you can stand this crew when you hate noise. Kara smiled. They have parties almost every day. Let's just say, I'm starting to see why Nami gets irritated so quickly. We walked into the room, Apis jumped at the sight of us before visibly calming down as Kara began to speak. You're not scared of pirates, are you? She asked with a hint of amusement edging her voice. What, no, I would never be scared of some dumb pirates. She exclaimed. Oh, is that so? You know some pirates like to eat other people. Nami especially loves the taste of human flesh. You should be careful. I warned her. Apis screamed, waking up the others. The moment she saw Nami, she pointed at her with her finger shaking. A witch. She's a witch. I burst out laughing at the scene. Nami was clearly confused. What do you mean I'm a witch? You eat people and can control lightning. You're a witch. Apis shouted, running to hide behind Kara. The others began to laugh along, all except Nami. Who told you that I eat people? She asked angrily. Apis pointed at me as I continued to laugh. Jay. Nami said murderously. Oh no, she's gonna kill me. I shrieked in fake terror. Suddenly I was out on the deck and tossed off the ship. Sorry, Jay. Zoro whispered. I'm sure you'll be fine. Hey wait, what's going on? Why is Nami glowing? I asked. Judgment. She shouted. Within moments the world went black. Next day. I woke up to a soft feeling beneath me, the air was warm with a smell that promised food. The first thing I noticed is that I was no longer in bed. The second thing I noticed is that I was currently resting my head on Kuragari's lap, hence the feeling of softness. The final thing was a fuming Sanji in the midst of complaining. I really don't think you should treat him like this. This is more of a reward than a punishment. Kuragari looked at him, a hint of amusement in her eyes. I think getting him by a lightning bolt powerful enough to destroy a small ship is more than enough. Oh come on, he's alive isn't he? Zoro asked. Let the man rest in a bed, this kind of lovey-dovey shit is sickening enough coming from the sniper. Huh. We don't act like that. Usopp shouted. Zoro smirked. he says while being hand-fed by his girlfriend. Usopp looked down to the spoon that Kaya had put in his mouth and abruptly grabbed it out her hand. This doesn't count, besides you're probably just mad that the marine girl isn't here to feed you. Kaya giggled. You jealous, Zoro? I couldn't care less. Zoro deadpanned. Though I do wish to fight her again, hopefully she learns something. You and your obsession with swords. I guess there's nothing left to think about in that moss head of yours. Sanji teased. Yeah, and all you think about is women that want nothing to do with you. Zoro shouted. Huh. I'll have you know I'm loved by all the girls on this crew, isn't that right, Kara? Sanji asked. Sorry Sanji, but what we love is your food. Kara told him. Sanji deflated before firing back at Zoro. My cooking is better than anything you can bring to the crew. You wanna go arrow cook? Anytime, musclehead. The two immediately began to fight until they were split up by Gears. Two things. 1. If you're gonna fight, take it outside. 2. Let me join. She grinned. Outside of me and Kara, everyone left the room. I yawned and sat up. Hey Kara, what's going on? Typical day for the Straw Hats, I guess. Are you alright? She asked. What are you talking about? I'm talking about yesterday. What, Apis waking up? Why do I feel like I got hit by lightning? I asked. My hearing is a bit off as well, it took me the last 5 minutes for it to get back to normal. You don't remember anything? Like nothing at all? I have no idea what I'm supposed to be remembering. The last thing I remember from yesterday is Apis talking to herself, nothing after that. I explained as I shook myself awake. Anyways, what's in the kitchen? We don't need to eat, but the food smells good. Kuragari chose to just stay silent about the previous night. Sanji made a typical breakfast, fish for the others and a salad for me. I'm getting tired of all the fish. Luffy is eating half a Sea King on his own, one of them popped up out of nowhere. What about the other half? Momo, I'm just confused on whether or not it's considered cannibalism. Momo joined us after Arlong, he joined us to help pull the ship for a bit. A little touch that was mentioned very briefly. Well, let's get some food. I stepped outside, Zoro was training with Sanji and Gears. Kaya was sitting against the railing while Usopp told her stories. Luffy was on top of the figurehead. Nami was walking out of the kitchen with a plate of food. Hey Nami, good morning. Fuck you. She replied coldly. I laughed, though I was a bit confused why she was so testy. I don't mind, but I feel like Luffy would be mad if I took your first. Nami's face went red due to the suggestion, immediately she hit me across the head. Shut the hell up, act like an adult. I laughed once more. Act like an adult. On this goofy ass crew, that's quite literally impossible. At that moment Apis walked out with a plate of pancakes that Sanji most likely made especially for her. Hey Apis, I don't quite remember what happened last night, but I'm sorry for the scare. Apis smiled brightly. I was never scared, I would never be scared of a dumb pirate. Really? I heard Nami has a taste for FLE. I was abruptly hit by Nami again. You tried that yesterday? Oh. I decided to skip breakfast and went to sit on the railing of the ship, near the figurehead. One day I would take that spot from Luffy, just for a bit. Kuragari leaned against it behind me. Apis ran off to sit on top of Momo's back as he pulled the ship, it seemed the two had become good friends. Off the corner of my eye I saw a fleet of marine ships. Hey guys, the marines are here, we need to go. I called out to everyone calmly. The marines fired, causing Usopp to jump up from his storytelling and get to the railing. Attention Straw Hats. Stop the ship immediately. Those were warning shots. The next shots will hit your ship. The random marine captain called out. Kiers laughed. When has anyone stopped just because they were told to? Marines really are stupid. Alright Kara, what do you say to a little exercise? The objective is, to take out as many ships as you can. Ready, go. I commanded as I jumped into the water. Kara quickly followed after. I love easy competition, I was looking for a fight anyways. Wait, don't go. Apis shouted. A wind is coming, we need to use this chance to get out of here. Nami looked up to the clouds. She's right, a gust is coming, we can use it to get out of here. If we fight them head on we'll lose no matter how good we are. Such a buzzkill, we could have taken care of it quickly. I told her. It would have been easy. I hopped back on the ship. I'm sorry Jay, I don't know if I'd be able to take an assault like that head on. Mary told me when I made it back. Zoro. Lean the sail towards the south. Sanji right rudder full. Usopp, help Sanji. Finally, Momoa, just follow the wind. Nami commanded. I just hope he understands. She whispered to herself. Apis leaned towards Momoa's ear and whispered something to him. Momo seemed to nod before turning the ship around. Oh, what about me? Luffy laughed, enjoying the thrill. You sit there patiently, oh and don't touch anything. Nami responded seriously. Luffy nodded his head, accepting it as an important job. We began to sail away at high speeds, I smiled knowing what was about to come. Usopp was screaming about how slow the navy was as we kept sailing, sooner or later everything calmed down, but it was too calm. Hey, is it just me, or are the sails not moving? Zoro asked. Yeah, Momo is having a hard time pulling the ship. Apis commented. Well, this should be fun. I smiled. What the hell do you mean this should be fun? Nami shouted. Did you know this would happen? Well duh, I'm from the Calm Belt, I've been here many times. I told them. From here they all shout at me about how maybe I should have told them about this when suddenly, the Sea Kings rose from the sea lifting Mary far into the sky. What now, idiot? Nami and Kiers shouted knowing damn well how dangerous the beast were. Oh don't worry about it, Kara, let's go. I jumped from the ship and ran down the nose of the Sea King before jumping into the water. It'd be nice if we could see Angel again. She commented as she jumped down after me. Jay. Kara. Luffy screamed as the beast closed in on us. I pulled the necklace out of my shirt and let it gleam in the light. The moment the Sea Kings saw it, they stopped in fear and lowered the Going Merry to the ground. Meanwhile Momo was staring at the creatures in awe. It seemed that he admired these giant beasts in a way that was almost an instinct. The Sea Kings backed off, forming a path as Angel came by and dipped his head to us. Kara ran up to him. Angel. How are you? I missed you. I see you're still having a hard time keeping these guys in check. Angel glared at the surrounding Sea Kings for the mistake that they made for the third time already. The beasts sunk back into the sea so they could get away, they were not keen on any punishment they would receive. While Kara was playing with Angel, the beat of wings could be heard from afar. From the sky a giant light blue dragon with white eyes flew in, its eyes were white and on top of it was a raging Kozumai. Jay! She screamed. The dragon roared twice, the first roar caused large waves to surface and start going wild. The second immediately froze those waves, causing walls of ice to surround us on all sides. Kozumai used Skywalk to descend to the water and stand in front of me. Any reason why you chose not to call? Huh? Did I say I was going to call? I don't quite remember that. I replied steadily. The least you could do is keep in contact, otherwise I might just sink this ship of yours right now. Kozumai threatened. Alright, I'm sorry, anyways we're in the middle of something. Come meet the crew and then we gotta get going and bring the girl back to her island. I told her. At least you have some common courtesy. Kozumi jumped up to the ship, I followed after her. Her dragon landed on the water, creating an ice platform that didn't disrupt the water around the ship. Apis was staring at the dragon in awe. Were all dragons capable of controlling elements? Or was it only a select few? After I introduced her to the crew, she was on her way out before looking at Apis. You can hear them too, right? Apis was confused. Hear who? The animals. To you they're no different from humans. With emotions and feelings, if you ever need help, come find me. I'll train you to control and befriend them, more importantly I'll teach you to share their power. Kozumi offered. The only ones listening to this conversation were Kara and I. The crew had turned back to their own devices. Apis smiled. Thanks, if I can save them, I'd love to get some training. Kozumi nodded. Your fruit isn't what it seems, you'd benefit a lot from me. Apis ain't canon, giving her a devil fruit with semi-different abilities is perfectly fine. What that is, y'all have to wait to find out. Won't be waiting a long time for that though. We were guided out the comm belt by Momua, however once we left Apis detached him from the ship. Momua chose to head back and live and learn with the comm belt Sea Kings. Hopefully we'll see him again. Alright guys, let's sail to Warship Island. Warship Island came into sight and had Luffy's excitement immediately. I however was wondering how that island was created here in the East Blue. If it was the Grand Line I'd understand, but weird things like this don't usually occur in the Blues. 30 minutes later, Warship Island. The ship docked and because I'm a big fan messing with people I jumped off landing in front of the villagers. So tell me where you're hiding the treasure. Kuragari immediately jumped off hitting me in my head, causing me to fall to the floor. Sorry about him, he seems to love getting in trouble. Kuragari apologized, and at that moment Apis appeared. Hey Jay, stop being so mean. Geez Apis, calm down, I'll stop. One of the villagers stepped forward. Why are you coming out from the pirate ship? What's going on? I laughed villainously. Oh, was it not obvious? We kidnapped her and now we're going to use her as ransom. This time I was hit by Nami, and instead of falling to the floor my head just dropped a little. Right, I'm sorry, Apis, go ahead and explain. Apis stepped forward smiling. Listen. They're pirates, but they're good ones. Apis smiled even wider. Are you sure, are they really good pirates? Said a random background villager. Oh, if you wanna see a bad pirate I can show you a bad pirate. Once again I was hit, this time Sanji, sending me flying into a rock. Kuragari spoke up. Jay, I swear to God do that dumb shit one more time and I'm slicing off your pride and shoving it down your fucking throat. My hands immediately went down to my lower regions. Right, I'll calm down. Do these really qualify as good pirates? They seem a little weird. Said the original background villager. Kier sighed. A little, is an understatement. At that moment an old man appeared. Who's that? Usopp asked. Don't know. Luffy replied. Grandpa Bokuden. Apis ran forward, hugging her grandfather. Bokuden tells her that he's happy she's safe and invited us over to eat, something Luffy was extremely excited about. Hey guys, do some of you wanna come with me? I offered. I just found something interesting on the island. I'll go, if it's what I'm sensing then I need to go. Kara responded. Zoro, Sanji, and Luffy immediately rejected the idea. Luffy was hungry, Zoro was tired, and Sanji didn't want to leave the two unsupervised. I don't know. Nami replied. There might be treasure. I said sweetly. On second thought, I can't let you guys have all the fun. Nami conceded. My Dante follow J-itis is acting up. Usopp replied. Oh, but a brave warrior like yourself would never be scared of an adventure. I teased. In that case we'll go. Kaya answered for him. This is the first task of being a brave warrior. Usopp nodded, though it was bit slow. I could use a little fun. Gears commented. Once everyone was on board, we made our way towards the mountain shaped like a warship. About half an hour later we made it to our destination. Oh my god, that fur looks soft. Kuragari shouted in excitement. Wait, is it fur, or feathers? At that moment we were standing in front of Ryu as a stop on our way to what Kara and I sensed. Do you think it bites? Usopp asked. Is it even alive? Gears followed. Kaya walked up to it and began to inspect him. Definitely alive, but he's getting a little old. So is this what we came here for, a dragon? Nami asked in a surprised voice. Nah, but we might as well take a break, that was a long walk after all. I sat down next to Ryu but he began to fuss. Or at least that slow blink implied as much. Alright, I'll stop. I'm starting to think you have a problem with guys or something. Ryu blinked slowly. No, I can't understand what you're saying, I'm just really good at reading body language. Another slow blink later. No, it's not the same thing, you're not even speaking. I hope you're not suggesting that I can read minds. Ryu glanced at me. I know it seems like I can, but I really can't. My master had a lot of animals, so I had to learn to read them. Hey Jay, if you're done talking to yourself then we gotta go. Nami called me. I can hear footsteps coming our way, it sounds like they're dragging something. Alright everyone, let's go. I ordered. The place we're going to is deeper into the cave. As we walked into the cave my excitement grew, I felt a dark energy down here. For some reason it seemed delicious. As we neared the end of the cave we found a dark portal of sorts. I grinned. Alright, who wants to go first? Kier stepped up and tried to pass through the portal but was blasted back into the cave wall. Alright, sorry, I was just kidding. You can't pass through without permission. Permission from who? Kiers asked angrily. The Wraith Emperor of course, or at least the original one. I put my hand on the portal as it began to spin faster and faster until it finally activated. This seems like an inheritance of mine, it'd be so fun if I could create portals later on. Yeah, cool, anyways I'll go in first. Nami decided as she walked in. The second we made it inside we were assaulted by a harsh bright light and unbearable heat. Kara! Drain it! I shouted. Kara laughed. What's wrong, it's just a little solar energy. She drained the energy away, finally letting the room go to a normal level with proper lighting. Oh my god! Kaya said in awe. It's a warship, with the symbol of the Wraith on the sails. Nami smiled brightly. Well, what are we waiting for, there's treasure over there for sure. She used a spark port to make it to the ship instantly while the rest of us took a bridge. As we landed on the ship we noticed arrows pointing towards the main area. As we walked we noticed strange tracks and what looked like remnants of a battle scattered around. When we reached the main square there was a stone cube in the middle. This is a poneglyph but the words right there are in English. Why? English, what is that? Kuragari asked. English was the most popular language where I came from. It was very widely known. I explained. Wait, I thought you came from the Com Belt. Kiers chimed in. I smiled. That's where I met my master, however the place I come from is long gone. I ain't making it back, but honestly I don't care. Being here is much more fun. Hey Jay, what do the words say? Nami asked. The poneglyph reads as follows, if you're reading this it means you're not of this world, you're from one across time and space. In the world I came from, I read a story about a pirate who got easily lost. His goal was to become the strongest swordsman in the world. However, once I made it here, I realized that I was stuck far back in the past. I obtained the wraith fruit and became one of the strongest this world has to offer. What lies here is the inheritance of me and my wife. Take what you must, but please leave some behind to keep us company. Hell wraith. Heaven wraith. These things are now yours. That was the part I decided to leave out. The next part I said aloud. My name is Malcolm. We have a companion who was locked away many years ago to keep him safe. If you ever make it to the island where the history of dragons are shown, head deep down into the caverns to find our friend. He may hate us now, it's been 800 years since we told him we'd be back. Please help him escape. I finished. Alright, so how about the items here, can we take them? Nami asked. Yes, but leave a good amount to keep them company. Just take what you need. I told them. We walked off in the direction of the vault. When we entered there were sections labeled like a library, treasure, devil fruits, weapons, items made with devil fruits, and old/new tech. I went over to the items with devil fruits section and started reading the item abilities. All of the descriptions were written in Japanese by the man who collected all of the items. That's where I found an item that interested me. Gloves, endless fruit. A magical pair of gloves that were made with the endless fruit. They have infinite space inside of them that can store and duplicate anything placed within. In order to place something inside of it, you simply touch the item. To bring it back, you think of the item and it's brought back. Duplicating living things is impossible. The realm inside can be changed. As of now it's nothing but a pocket dimension. However, if you gain other things like this, you can change it to hold that area. You can personally go into the area yourself, but your body will disappear from the main world. When you leave, you'll return to the spot you were last at. Alright, one item checked off the list. I thought. The main thing I was interested in was the ability to store items, allowing me to keep my money in a safe place. The duplication should work with the Alvida ball, and now I don't have to worry about not having enough space for weapons. I then moved on to the technology area. There I took another item. A mechanical ring that gives me the ability to go into a separate dimension meant for training. You open a door with the hand the ring is on and you go into another dimension and you have to exit out the same door. Without the ring you can't get in. By duplicating the item it give the crew a good place to train, and an area for them to put the excess treasure. I finished in the devil fruit section and grabbed 2 extra wraith fruits I found there. Nami took a necklace with an infinite electrical charge, so that she didn't have to absorb the electricity out of people. Usopp grabbed a slingshot with the spirit fruit, model elemental, allowing him to use elemental spirits with his sniping ability. Kuragari takes a blade that allows her to absorb other metals to repair and strengthen itself. Also takes a mechanical sheet that increases the sharpness of the blade inside indefinitely. Looks like she'll have to use swords for a while. Kaya takes some mechanical guns that's able to store and infinitely duplicate any kind of ammo. Choosing which ammo to use is thought-based. Even if you know what ammo you want, there is a strain on your energy for using better kinds because it uses your energy to activate it. She has to find the different kinds of ammo. She also takes a short black trench coat that stops at her thighs with increased durability and a self-cleaning option, so she always has an outfit for battle. Also takes thigh-high boots, leaving a small part of absolute territory. If you know, you know. The boots have a speed option. Yep, the main reason we came was for Kaya to get some better weaponry. Kiers took a devil fruit that she assumed would work well with her crimson glaives. The spirit fruit, model, Kerr. Yet her name was a dead giveaway. The next morning we had arrived back at Bokudan's house. As we walked up we saw a villager burst through the door ahead of us. Knowing something was up, we made our way over to see what was going on. There's a problem. Bokudan-san. Where's Apis? Asked the random villager. Nami ran in after him. What's the matter? Ah, you guys are pirates, right? A navy fleet started blocking the harbor. The random man explained. Nami looked shocked. It can't be. Just to capture Apis? Hey. Everyone come with me. Sanji jumped up, his arms spread wide. Certainly. Nami-san. Luffy however was confused. Why? I walked through the door and stared down at Luffy. Because if we don't go we're gonna have some problems later on, we should go now. I turned around and addressed the villager. Hey, when Bokuden wakes up, assure him Apis will be safe with us. Luffy, sensing something was wrong, quickly stood up. We ran out the house running towards the cave where the dragon was, only halted for a moment as Zoro nearly got lost. When we entered the cave I stared up at the dragon for the second time. Kuragari walked forward and started petting it, it seemingly leaned into her touch. Apis jumped up from behind the gigantic creature's hair. Hi everyone. She called out before seeing Kuragari. Get away from, huh? He doesn't mind? I'll let it go. Wait, when did you meet him? She kept jumping back and forth talking about more and more random topics. Usopp was busy getting eaten and Luffy was messing with the dragon. Hey, can we get back to the task at hand? Apis, what is this all about? The room went silent as Apis jumped down and stood patiently by the dragon, her hands linked together in front of her. Well, what the Marines are after is this dragon, his name is Grandpa Ryu. Please can you guys help me take him back to the Lost Island? She asked politely. Usopp grinned. As a brave warrior of the sea, I would never leave a little girl in danger. He shouted triumphantly. Question is, how are we gonna get this guy anywhere? Will he even move? Gears asked. Get some wood and make a raft for him, it shouldn't be too hard. I told them. They nodded as they all left. Sanji, Zoro, Luffy, I need you three to stay behind. Kara, you guys should be able to handle that, right? Test the new blade or something. Kuragari left the cave and the guys turned to me with a questioning glance. So what is it? Sanji and Zoro questioned at the same time. I took out a silver ring from my pocket and placed it in Sanji's hand. Here, this is my gift to the crew. The others already have one. You'll find it to be pretty useful. Sanji tossed the ring to Zoro. Well, I don't want it, I refuse to accept a ring from a guy. What does it even do anyways? Zoro took the ring and put it on. I'll take it then, it's probably something nice. What does it do? I smiled. Honestly, it might be best if everyone has one. This ring allows you to enter a world where the gravity is doubled. It'll allow those that use it to get much stronger, on top of that nothing can be destroyed inside there, so it's really good for sparring. Zoro smirked, Luffy looked at it with stars in his eyes. Oh, can we go inside now? How does it work? I tossed a ring to Luffy and gave one to Sanji, who begrudgingly took it. Down the passageway there was a door. You open the door with the hand the ring is on, the only downside is you have to leave through the same door. If the door is destroyed, you might be stuck. Yo, is this an off-brand time chamber? Yeah, kinda. As we stepped inside, Sanji and Luffy face planted. Zoro managed to stay up due to him being used to working with weight, and I already went inside earlier. Luffy and Sanji jumped up, dusting themselves off. I looked around. As of now it was nothing but a large grassy plain with an endless blue sky. This place is great, during long travel times you can spar to increase your strength. I already talked to Nami, we'll be transferring some things over so that we stop weighing down the Mary. She wants to make a full tangerine orchid. We left the room and eventually rejoined the others. Usopp, Kaya, Nami, and Gears had already left to go get the going Mary. We were waiting on Zoro, Gears, Kaya, and Usopp to come back with the ship when the sound of guns getting prepared could be heard. Apis immediately jumped up in front of Ryu. No. Don't shoot Grandpa Ryu. I immediately stepped in front of her looking down at the Marines. Ryu raised his head intimidating some Marines. "Fire!" the Marine called out. What surprised me was that despite the large surface area of the dragon's body, they shot in the one area that would actually give us a chance of protecting him. Apis ran forward before being pulled back by Kuragari. I ran forward and deflected all the bullets with my fist. One of the randoms spoke. He deflected all those bullets. He took a step back looking frightened enough to retreat if the captain gave the order. Someone who looked like a wannabe saber-tooth took a step forward. "Oh, it seems someone here is strong." "Aw, that's so nice, it's good to know irrelevance can see my strength," I said sweetly. That line seemed to tick him off. "Rush him, no matter how many bullets you throw at him, he'll deflect them. Let's see how good he is in close combat." The Marines rushed forward and were taken out in seconds due to my assault. "How the hell did you dumbasses become Marines?" "I'm using my fist for Kojika's sake, obviously I'm a close combat fighter. I swear to God if Garp saw this you all would be fired, either that or forced to do extensive training." Sabertooth began walking towards us. "Really, you Marines are good for nothing." As he walked he kept slicing the Marines left and right. "My name is Eric the Whirlwind. I'm a mercenary hired by Nelson Royal. We don't have any business with you, Jay. We have business with that millennial dragon. Surely you'd understand as someone who used to be a mercenary, if you stand in my way you'll fall victim to my sickle fruit." Luffy looked at me. "Wait, you know this guy Jay?" "Yeah, before this me and Kuragari were mercenaries for a bit. We met a few people in our line of profession. He was one of the bad ones, though I never got his name till now." Luffy turned to Nami. "Nami, how long do we have to wait here?" "Just a little longer," she replied. Sabertooth grew angry. "Hey! You bastards! Are you listening to me?" I turned back towards him. "Shut up, Sabertooth, we're listening." What, it's Eric the Sickle, not Sabertooth," he shouted angrily. "What? Why? I like the name Sabertooth. It suits you." I laughed. "Grr. Hope you don't regret making me angry." Sickle, shut a whirlwind." The wind shot out towards me. Kuragari appeared in front of me, stopping the wind with her new blade. "Ha, you really think this wind could touch us? You're too weak." I laughed in the background. "Kuragari, calm down, I'm starting to rub off on you." She immediately stopped and stepped back with a disgusted look on her face. "Huh, as if I'd ever do anything like you." I laughed again, though much louder this time. "Hey, don't go all tsundere on me because you're embarrassed." She retreated behind Luffy with Sanji, her face looking like she ate a devil fruit for the second time. "Shut the hell up. I'm not a tsundere," she shouted at me. This just caused my laughter to grow louder. Yeah, of course. Because there's no way a tsundere would deny being one," I called back sarcastically. Sanji leapt forward, probably thinking he was defending her honor. "Hey! Don't tease her or I'll kick your face in." "Oh, you're just saying that because you want a rematch from our last competition at the Baratai?" Sanji smirked and jumped forward. "You damn right." Unfortunately, all the laughter finally made my knees give out. As I fell to the floor, Sanji flew over me until he kicked Eric instead. My laughter at this point was starting to get out of control. "Oh my god, Sabertooth, you good?" Luffy looked out over the ocean. "Hey guys, I see Mary, it's time to go." Sanji immediately returned to the raft and pushed the cart down the hill with me and Eric still in the way. Eric scrambled out of the way as I decided to treat it like a game and race the thing. Now either I get hit and fly into the ocean, or I outrun it and look awesome, I thought while running down the mountain at full speed. Up ahead a boulder appeared. I jumped on top of it to take a breath, but Luffy destroyed it. I kept running. Eventually we got to the edge of the cliff and I jumped off somersault and landed on the marine ship gracefully. The raft however kept going, crashing into the sail, breaking it. Luffy and Apis were laughing the entire way. "Go after that ship," one of the marines commanded. "We can't move because the sail is in our way," one of the grunts called out. "Huh." The first one shouted. "Wait, better idea, that person on our ship, he's the Wraith Emperor J, his bounty is almost as high as his captain's. If we capture him it'll probably force Straw Hat to give up." Upon hearing this I immediately jumped off the ship running across the water. "Fuck, I forgot he can run on water," one of the marines yelled out. As I got onto the Mary, Usopp finally finished tying the raft to the ship. "That was fun," commented Luffy and Apis. I turned towards the rest as Luffy was talking about which way we should go. "Hey guys, where's Kuragari?" Nami turned towards me. She said she was tired so she went to rest in my room. "Thanks Nami. I'll go make sure she's alright." I turned back around and entered our room. As I entered, I saw Kuragari laying down in the far corner. "Hey Kara, you good?" She turned around until she was facing me. "Yeah, just hella tired. You should get me some water or maybe massage my shoulders." I smiled gently. "Always the slave driver, aren't you?" After the massage she fell asleep. I laid down to take a nap of my own. A while later, after the antics that being on the Mary brings, I finally woke up. Next to me Kara had rolled over and yawned. "Hey Jay, what time is it?" she asked. "Honestly no idea, it seems to be in the afternoon." We left the room and went out onto the deck. From there I was able to see Luffy on the figurehead. "Hey Luffy, what's going on?" I called out. He turned towards me. "There's a ship out there." As he said that, a mirror image appeared before he slowly began to disappear into the strange mirage. Usopp was about to freak out until Kaya placed her hand on top of his. "It'll be fine," she assured him. "Hey, should Luffy really be disappearing like that?" Sanji asked. "Obviously not, dumbass," Nami replied. "It's a mirage, wait till we get on the inside." Once we made it inside the mirage we were surrounded by a strange fog. "Nami, we got a storm coming up," I yelled. Nami looked over at me. "Yeah, I can tell, I can feel the energy coursing through me." The clouds in the sky gathered, heavy rain began to fall. Nami, strangely excited, began to explain about the effects of the sudden change. Not long after she explained how it felt, a huge wave crashed into the Mary, causing the boat to lean far to the left, almost causing Luffy to fall. Kuragari and I used this. "Hey, a perfect chance to improve our water walking. Giant storms like this are good for improving leg strength and concentration." She hopped out of the Mary immediately. "Hell yeah!" I yelled at the top of my lungs. "This is my kind of weather." Nami was nodding along though, mainly because of the way it made her feel. "Can you two take this seriously and help out?" Kiers screamed down at us. "Calm down Kiers, you guys will be fine, you can handle keeping the boat on course without us," Kuragari called out with a genuine smile on her face. "Honestly Kara, Jay, may really be rubbing off on you." Nami smirked. "Maybe he's rubbing off on you as well," Kiers mumbled, just quiet enough for Nami not to hear. Kuragari's smile grew wider. "With things like this, I don't think I mind. This is fucking fun." She jumped from a giant wave onto the next as the tie on Ryu's raft started to come off. I jumped onto the ship holding both the ties down so that the rest of the crew could deal with the other problems. I didn't bother telling Kuragari because this was the first time in a while I've seen her have this much fun, outside of killing marines of course. A light was seen in the distance with an island directly under it. The waves slowly began to calm down and finally we made it to the eye of the storm. I tightened the ropes on Ryu's raft and got off the ship to walk alongside Kuragari. We chose to walk instead of putting any added weight on Mary, whose spirit showed she was exhausted. As we neared the island, it was clear that it was not an island of dragons. All the rubble was clearly from man-made structures. Kuragari and I were the first ones to step on the island. According to Wraith World, there was another living being underground. Sanji took a step on the island. "Does anyone even live on this island anymore?" he asked. "Yes," I replied. "According to the Wraith World, there's somewhere else here deep underground, though I can't tell who or what it is." Apis explained that according to Ryu, this island is probably not a lost island. Luffy, however, pointed up to a tall building where you would likely see the rest of the island. "Hey guys, I'll go check out that other creature, it might be the person we were asked to save. This is an island with a history of dragons, right?" I explained. The others left. Kara chose to go with me in case her side of the wraith was needed for this. 10 to 30 minutes later. I was nearing the bottom, but before that I heard a rumbling up above, from them falling into the lavatory or whatever. Some rocks fell down blocking our path forward, but we just cut through them and kept going. When I reached the area, it was pitch black. That was until Kara lit the area with her light. In front of us was a sleeping man who looked to be late 20s. He was chained to the wall by black and yellow chains. He glared at us with shining orange eyes. His hair was white as snow, and had an outfit that looked almost tribal. The only part of skin that showed was his hands, a cross between a fursuit and armor. "So you two finally returned?" He paused. "No, you're not them. They told me they'd come back, then went off to die." "Did they think I couldn't help?" "I was already an adult, they didn't need to keep treating me like a kid." "Who are you?" Kara asked. "My name is Ryashi. I'm the son of those two idiots. When I turned 10 they fed me this fruit that was similar to theirs. Unfortunately we were surrounded by Marines, they trapped me down here so I wouldn't be caught. I was 20 at the time." Ryashi explained. "So then, would you like to get out? Your parents told us they had a comrade of sorts on this island that we needed to save. Will you come with us or stay locked here?" I asked impatiently. "Well, not much choice is there?" Ryashi complained. Kara and I walked up to the chains and began to drain the energy out of them. The second he was free, he released a wave of energy that knocked us back. "It seems I'm nowhere near my prime, I need to find my second devil fruit." I was locked away for so long that the bastard decided to move on. "Huh? Move on? Second devil fruit?" I asked. "I thought you died if you ate a second one." "Are you an idiot? Yes, you die, but the wraith allows you to come back," Ryashi told us. "Oh yeah?" I laughed before regaining my composure. "What do you mean move on?" Ryashi scratched the back of his head. "The fruits have a will of their own, take long enough without using them and they'll just leave on their own. The wraith fruit stayed but my other one left." "Alright, we should probably leave," Kara said. "We need to catch up to the others." "Hey Ryashi, right? What can you do? What model of wraith are you?" "I'm the curse model, I can also gain control of reptiles. If I kill one I can transform and gain its abilities. Right now I have a Neuronathus pterosaur. A small flying reptile. I was on my way to gain another when I was locked here." "Good, that means you can keep up. Let's go," I commanded, though I had no idea what he just made up. He would have remained angry longer, but he's logical enough to know we have no connection to the past versions of ourselves. He was added to the story in the original, so I wanted to bring him back to this one as somebody different. Also, a Neuronathus pterosaur is about 4 inches in size. It's hella small. As we made it to land we saw a giant flock of creatures flying over towards where Warship Island was located. "Hey, Kara. What do you say we take an express route?" "No. We are not taking a dragon. 5 minutes and a quick fight with the feathered beast later. "We're taking a dragon," she declared. "It really doesn't take much to change your mind, does it?" Ryashi sighed. "Oh come on, you know you wanna try it. I mean you can fly, but I'm sure you can't fly as fast as one of these." Kara replied. Alright, let's go. That poor creature looks like it wants to hurry up and leave. I can't believe you guys are forcing it to take you." Ryashi got on as the dragon began to beat its wings. Finally it took off. "What force? I would never do something so heinous," I said sarcastically. "Would you be able to become a dragon?" I asked. "One like these?" "Unfortunately no," Ryashi answered. "These are based on birds, the azure dragon is based on a fish. I'd have to find one based on reptiles, unfortunately those don't exist." Kara remembered Ryaka. "What about the dragon king? Maybe if I found the original dragons. Those are the ones gifted with power. When a dragon is born, whether they have scales or not shows whether they have a special power," Ryashi explained. "The one my master has can control the sea," I told him. "I'd have to find one based around cursed energy, the more compatible I am, the better." At that moment we had finally reached the beautiful island that was now much larger than before. The dragon lowered us to the ground near the ship before taking flight again. We ran off to meet Luffy, who was in the middle of explaining something to Apis. He said that millennial dragons return to the nest every 1,000 years and are reborn again. Grandpa Ryu said that. The tears in her eyes were wiped away. "Over there," Luffy pointed. On the floor beneath the fossilized dragon was an egg, however it was different from the normal ones. It had scales, one like a reptile. The egg cracked and out came a green dragon. The other dragons came down to it, but instead of welcoming chose to celebrate it. The first true dragon to be born in over 1,000 years, and the power belonged to a now baby Ryu. The dragon said something in a different language before nodding at Apis. The dragons crowded her and began to do a gesture akin to a bow. "Huh? What's going on?" Apis shouted. "They're worshipping you, your power awakened something in Ryu. You're not wielding the whisper fruit, I've checked. The fruit you have now, is the spirit fruit, model, Dragon Queen. You rule the dragons. It seems maybe the whisper fruit evolved when I interfered with this world," I explained. At that moment a giant light blue dragon flew over the island and landed before them. From on top, Kozumi stepped off. "This idiot told me he needed to greet his family," she said, pointing to her dragon. "This is the dragon that was reborn with scales 1,000 years ago," I told her. "I can read about a person through an ability of mine. Let Kozumi train you, you'll grow in power and we will see each other again." Apis was understandably shocked. "What about Ryu? What happens when they leave?" Kozumi walked over and held out a necklace. "One of my favorite pastimes is creating jewelry. I made some for Jay so sea kings won't attack him. I asked a marine I know to help create a space that was filled with enough water to hold an island. This necklace holds that vast amount of water. With your permission, I can take the Dragon Island and place it within here. The people here can move to my island in the calm belt. What do you say?" Apis grabbed the necklace, accepting the decision. Within moments the island we were on disappeared. All living dragons had gone with it. We were transported onto a ship. Up above stood a single man. "I'm not doing you any more favors, Kozumi. This is your payment for helping me all those years ago." Kozumi laughed. "Oh come on Nwaro, it's just a friend helping a friend. You don't gotta act so uptight about it." Nwaro turned away. "Maybe if you accepted my invite to dinner I wouldn't be so rude." A moment later he flew off. From within the amulet, Kozumi's dragon appeared and picked up Kozumi. "Those dragons can come and go, they aren't trapped in there." Apis nodded. Kozumi's dragon landed on the water and Apis got on. Ryu appeared from the necklace and laid down. Apis began to pet the scaled creature. "Bye Jay, make sure you call this time. I would come out and find you myself, but unfortunately, I got a group of students to train." The two flew off, leaving us to finally set sail. "Hey Jay, can you teach Kaya and I how to use these phone things? You know how to write?" Usopp asked. Writer vs. Jay. Writer, so how's the chapter? I tried to hold back on the fighting, I write too many fight scenes as is. Jay, it's aight, the only problem is the fact you edited as much as you did and there still might be mistakes. Writer, I know, it's almost crazy how much I be fucking up. Jay, so what's the plan for the next chapter? Writer, well, every 6 chapters I write something akin to filler. The only problem is I don't know who I'm going to write about. Jay, you're a walking L. Writer, maybe. Next chapter, I honestly don't know. Jay, follow or favorite, whichever one gives you the notifications. Writer, I don't have a fix updating time, it's just on Sundays every 2 weeks. Leave a comment if you wanna ask something or if you have some criticism. I'm still new to writing, so I could use the help. Jay, the only thing people got out of you before was a half-assed essay. I bet you regret not paying attention to them English classes back in high school. Writer, maybe a little. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you liked it, subscribe to my channel for more fan fictions like this, and goodbye.